All right, number 16, a point equidistant from the two endpoints of a segment is the midpoint. Now, we haven't ever covered this word in class, but it's one that I would hope that we can figure out based on context clues and using our root words. Distant means we're going to be using distance of some kind. Equid, the prefix is equal, so this thing just means equal distance. So when we draw the endpoints, let's call those A and B. And if we got a point that is equal distance from them, let's put that M. Equal distance would mean that this equals this, and then it's saying that it's the midpoint. Well, yeah, that does sound right. However, just to be squirrely here, I want to go ahead and point out that this statement is not exactly true because I could create a counterexample for it. Now, this is not necessarily needed for this problem. I just want to go ahead and point it out. So I could have drawn this a slightly different way and to make it not true. For example, what if I put a point right here? Let's call that point X. Now, if I was to draw in these two segments, yes, I have two endpoints of a segment, A and B. I have another point that is equal distance from them. This section, AX, is congruent to XB. So technically, point X fits this entire hypothesis, or the entire thing we're going to create a hypothesis. There is a segment AB, and X is equal distance from them, so shouldn't X be the midpoint? Well, no, it's not. In order to make this thing completely true, we'd all have to add in something about M being on that segment. And since that's not there, this statement as a whole is not completely true. Now, like I said, that's not exactly needed for the problem. I just wanted to go ahead and throw that out there. So, as far as writing the conditional, a point equidistant from the two endpoints of a segment, we're going to use this section all the way up through segment as the hypothesis, and then our midpoint is going to be our conclusion. So, if a point is equidistant from the endpoints of a segment, then it is the midpoint. That one actually worked out nice because I didn't have to do any sort of fancy grammar stuff to fit it in. I literally just threw in the if and the then on both sides.